Hi gamers, this is Power Level Gaming, and I just wanted to share a few in-game formations that I've been using. I've done 2 playthroughs of the game, and these are the units that I use to beat the final mission, Unicorn Overlord, and these are the parties or the units that I used and how they're set up. And so I just finished it on True Zenorian difficulty for my second playthrough, so I thought I would go ahead and share some of these formations in case anyone's having trouble figuring out what build to use for the end game. And so for my first unit, that's going to go ahead and be Alain's character. Since he's the main character, it only makes sense for him to be unit number 1. I have him equipped with the Holy Unicorn Blade, which you get from the quest The Royal Mausoleum. Just a chivalric shield. You could throw any shield on him since the Holy Unicorn Blade gives him debuff immunity. You might want to pick a shield with a better ability, but he doesn't really need anything. He's good to go. So then I have the Ancient Crown on him, which I believe I got from treasure hunts. So make sure you're doing your mining and getting your treasure maps. And then the Ring of the Unicorn, which you're going to want to go ahead and enhance through the main quest line. Then for his abilities, you have Astral Blade, which comes from the Ring of the Unicorn. You're going to want that for the final boss fight. And then I just have Spinning Edge set to when there are 3 combatants and none of them are armored. Otherwise, the armored combatants will block the Spinning Blade attack for one of the units, and it just, to me, doesn't seem like a good use of AP to have it attack just 2 units. So the next condition is if there's a cavalry unit, to use Cavalry Slayer. And then lastly, just Lean Edge on lowest HP if none of the above conditions are met. And then I don't have his start of battle skill turned on because I have Berengaria in the unit and I use her starting ability. So then he just blocks for himself if he has less than 75% HP. I actually used to have this on under 50, but he's so tanky that he doesn't really take that much damage normally. So if you want to get more use out of it, you can put it at 75%. And then Luminous Cover, I actually had this to prioritize back, or just on back row, and that's probably where you want to keep it. Berengaria likes to get hit due to her kit, so you just want him protecting the back row. Then I've seen a lot of people complain about the Swordmaster units online. I'm not sure why. I think they're actually really good. What I have Melisandre and the unit for is strictly to take out opposing thief units right off the bat. And so I believe, yeah, she is my fastest character, and she does target the highest evasion unit. So if there is an opposing flyer or thief in the front row, she's going to go ahead and take them out right off the bat. And so I think it's definitely worth it to have a Swordmaster in your unit so you don't have to worry about thief evading your attacks of your heavy hitters. And then you can see how her tactics are set up. And so just impale if there's a low enemy health so she can hopefully get another AP or get a PP from it. And so then we don't want her attacking an armored enemy because she's not going to kill one, so we just have no armored enemies. And then her other 2 attacks are just for highest evasion units. And then she has the Ring of the Maiden on because on this playthrough I had her be the romance option, and so Celestial Light is an ability you need for the final boss fight, and so that has to be equipped on whoever your romance option is. Then I have Scarlet in as my healer / magic damage dealer. She's really not that important. She's going to do some healings, very little damage. I haven't found a way to get her to be an effective damage dealer, but she does do some healing, so she's nice to just have in the party. Then this other character, I specifically have Nina in the party or any other breaker just to remove obstacles, so Alain can run around the map and knock out any obstacles or traps with her Valor skill. Heavy Swing 2. That's going to just be a utility feature. It helps that she also can do some major damage if she can land a hit. So she's a decent damage dealer, but mostly she's here for her Valor skill, Heavy Swing 2. And then you can see her kit loadout right on screen. And then I just have her set up to farm gold for me, because gold gets scarce if you're trying to buy the best equipment at every town. And then lastly but not least, I have Berengaria, and she is my second DPS / start of battle ability user. So I have the Sacral Axe on her. I normally run actually this King's Drakenash. I kind of forgot that the Grand Bearish Shield debuff and immunity includes afflictions, so she doesn't need a sacral weapon for the last boss, and she's just gonna absolutely wreck other units with this setup. So I like her special ability that reduces enemy attack and initiative. So I would go ahead and run that in most situations, unless you're coming up against a unit that can cleanse debuffs, which does happen, but still, it's a really good ability. I think better than Rapid Order for the most part. So this is going to be your main unit, and then the other thing is Berengaria's skill, Vital Absorb, is going to let you essentially have unlimited stamina. So that is why I originally put her in the party, is just so Alain's unit could be overpowered and run around the map, absorbing stamina, destroying barriers, and just wiping enemy units. So this unit has served me very well for pretty much the whole game from when the characters were available. So I would highly recommend this unit, and it's not really going to lose to anything. The second main unit I have is Gilbert's unit. So Gilbert himself is not great unless you love a pure buffering character, so he's kind of the opposite of Selvi. So what I have him doing is just doing offensive order his first turn, defensive order his second turn, and then if he has additional actions, he would do a banishing stab on a buffed character to remove their buff. But I don't currently have him set up to have any additional AP, because I just have him kitted out for speed and healing, so he can heal at the end of battle. The real MVP of this unit is actually Virginia. With this build, she's pretty much going to wreck everything. A lot of times I'll just throw her on the home base if there's a lot of enemies coming in, and this unit will just defend, and due to Gilbert's leader ability, generate me a ton of Valor points. So I'm going to recommend that you run her with the Blue Rose Shield and Azure Crest Shield, so she has max PP, and then a Ruby Pendant to have max AP, and then once you have the Holy Unicorn Blade, then you can throw the Kingsblade Cornix on Virginia. Before that, I had this on Alain. Joseph is not very good, but he's essentially the healer for this party. And if he doesn't have to heal, he has a decent magic attack. So I have him on the Runic Sword. So you might want to just have him as a magic damage dealer. He's a good tank buster. And so if there's multiple tanks, Virginia and Joseph should take care of those. Yana is my sorcerer. She is mostly here, honestly, for her Valor skill teleport. so that this unit can move around the battlefield quickly. Since Gilbert is an infantry unit, the unit's not going to move very quickly by itself, but with this Valor skill, you can teleport to any of your allies who are in danger, which does happen from time to time, especially on True Zenorian difficulty. And then I have another Swordmaster here. Again, this is going to take out any evasion units so that Virginia can lay the smackdown on any tankier units, or I should just say non-evasive units. So this unit also rarely going to die, and if they do, everyone can be dead except for Virginia, and she will pretty much destroy units all by herself. So great unit. I really recommend this one too. You could probably get rid of Yana and do a different unit, but I think her Valor skill utility is worth the spot. Then I have Rosalinde's unit. This unit is just my elf unit, as you can see. Basically, I just have these two evade tanks in the front who are also going to do some damage and can inflict stun and reduce enemy passive points. So as long as you're not fighting anything with True Strike, you should be good to not take any damage with these two in the front. And then Rosalinde and Eltalinde work really well together. So basically, they are just going to do magic damage and heal and cleanse debuffs and keep the unit alive. You could probably throw a better unit than Galadmir in here. I just liked it thematically because these are the Athelion and Raylanor are the royal guards for Rosalinde, and Gladimir is the royal guard for Eldolin. So I thought thematically it just worked. And it's also nice to sometimes have Merciful Rain if you have friendly units who are taking a beating just to try and keep them alive, or put out fires on maps that have fire. So pretty decent unit. Again, as long as there's nothing that can do True Strike, you should be good to go. Then I have my Beast unit here, or Yunifi's unit. This unit is really just set up for Yunifi to immediately cast Glacial Rain. You can see she has 52 initiative. And then I have my Ramona set up to cast Quick Impetus on Yunifi, so that hopefully first turn of the game, Yunifi can just launch Glacial Rain and with Eagle Eye hit all the opposing units, freezing them, and then everyone else can just clean up. So right off the bat, she should freeze the enemy team. And so you could use anyone to cast Quick Impetus. It doesn't really matter. I just have Ramona so it fits thematically. And then Morard is set up just to do Grand Smash. I really think there's a good combo with this Sniper's Amber Lens, which gives you Hawkeye, which gives you a True Strike and guaranteed critical. So he just hits the entire opposing team with True Strike and guaranteed critical. So usually, if Yunifi doesn't kill everything, he can finish them off. And then I have Dinah set up just to try and take out opposing scouts, or freeze anything that's not frozen, or right off the bat. So she also works as an evade tank, and Bertrand's my other tank, who just has Icy Crush. And he doesn't generally go, because usually everything is dead by the time it's his turn because his initiative's so low. But he is a tank / damage dealer if needed. But he's probably mostly not going to have a turn because Yunifi and Morard are going to kill the enemy team before he has a chance. Alright, then my fifth unit And really the last main unit that I use is my Knights unit. You've probably seen Knights are OP. They're run across the battlefield really quickly and just decimate other units, especially columns. I've pretty much had them the whole game with unwavering spear so that they have true strike for scouts that can just run over opposing scout teams. And then Selvi is going to be your druid. And right now I have her on a sandstorm to just inflict blind on the other team because knights can be a little fragile if they don't wipe the enemy team. A lot of times they'll just wipe the enemy team, but they're a little slow and a little fragile. So Selvi kind of is a perfect fit since she can use Curse Swamp to slow the enemy team at the start of combat and then blind them. If I don't care about using her starting ability Curse Swamp, or if I'm going against a unit that has a high chance to guard, that's where Aubin comes in with his starting ability Warhorn. It makes your skills unguardable, and so then your knights can just run over opposing tanks. And so you can just kind of toggle that on, or well, you would toggle Selvi's ability because she has the higher initiative on or off, just depending on whether you need to run over shields or not. So these are the main 5 units I use. These should carry you through the game. Obviously, you're not going to get Yunifi's unit until late in the game, but these will be kind of your first 2 units, and they're actually, I think, the best units. So I would build these as soon as you can if you're interested. And then it's always good to have a flying unit. I like this flyer archer combo, but that's up to you, and you can kind of set that up as needed depending on your needs for the stage. And then I mean to build a dragoon stage here with the unit with the dragoon's war spear, but I just haven't really gotten around to it after beating the game twice still. So I would recommend kind of checking this out. This unit works pretty well. I haven't even added a 5th character to it yet. So definitely check it out. There's a lot to experiment with. Like I was experimenting with this other kind of tank unit down here, which does okay against some units, but not so great against others. So it definitely still needs some tweaking. And then I guess I'll also shout out Travis is so good as an evade tank. You can really use anyone with him and have a good time. So if you're having trouble holding a fort or defending and there's not enemies with true strike, throw Travis in the front with some scarfs on and there'll be like a 1% chance that he gets hit. So he's kind of a utility, and he's also great for gold farming. So just keep him leveled up so you can use him when you need to. Alright, well, I hope you liked this video, and hopefully this gave you some ideas for formations that you may or may not have thought of. If you have any questions, let me know, or if you want to see any other content for Unicorn Overlord, let me know. Power Level Gaming out.